This is John Jordan with Headlights and Tailpipes of Las Vegas, and today we are standing here with
Bill Rice.
Bill Rice. You have a unique car. I would like you to give us the name of the model and the year it was built, please.
Sure, it's a 2006 Spyker C8 Spider.
My understanding that there were a limited number of cars built within a 10-year period that would be similar to this.
Yeah, the company was alive for about 10 years, and during that time they built right about 250 cars. There were many different models.
Oh, okay.
Some were convertibles, some were coupes. They made some one-offs. They made a one-off SUV, which is a really cool car. Too bad they couldn't put it into production, but anyway, a variety of different things.
Now, what country are they from, actually?
The car, it's a Dutch car.
Okay, so it was actually built.
Yeah, Spyker's a very old company. It was founded in 1875, and what they originally did was they built really fancy carriages, and as a matter of fact, the Dutch royalty still uses a Spyker carriage built in the late 1800s for all their high ceremonies and stuff.
Amazing.
It's really an incredible thing. It's all gold gilded, and
right.
It's really amazing. So then they went from that to building cars right around the turn of the century, and then around the time of World War I, they started building airplanes, and they built fighter planes during World War I. And so if you look around all these Spyker cars,
right.
The theme is all aeronautical. So
right.
The wheels are sort of propellers,
right.
Gas cap, the steering wheel, the air conditioning vents are all propellers, whatever.
Right.
So the guy who brought the company back to life, he wanted to carry through that history and
right.
the culture from the original business.
Yeah, very similar to Mercedes. It's got the 3-point star, which represents the aviation, the marine, and the aircraft, and the car itself. BMW did the same thing with their deal, except though this is a 2-bladed propeller, so you cannot miss it. It's really quite distinctive. Tell us a little bit of your experience with the car. What drew you to the car, and how do you enjoy it?
The car is one of the most exhilarating cars I've ever driven, and I think it's just kind of the whole package. It's not the fastest car on the road, but it feels really exhilarating to drive this car. Ironically, for all you football fans, I bought this car from Ben Roethlisberger, and I guess when he got his first big contract, he went out. First thing he did is run out and bought this car. But then he owned it for 8 years and only drove it 943 miles. And then I stumbled onto the thing. And I drive it sparingly, but it's always a hell of a lot of fun to get in and drive it.
And I suspect you drove it a little bit more than the former owner did.
Well, I haven't driven it a lot. I've only driven it a couple hundred miles.
Oh, okay.
So, I expect to probably play with it a little more and
right.
and show it a bit here and there.
I suspect you got this is one, and maybe a few other little toys you have that you drive.
Yeah, I have a few other odd ducks, if you will.
Okay.
So they're everything I have is sort of strange.
Yeah, tell us a little bit about the performance of it if you can.
It's an Audi V8, and Spyker took that motor, which is originally 360 horsepower, and they tweaked it to about 400 horsepower. And so it's reliable. It's really powerful. There's
right.
a lot of torque.
You're running through a 6-speed gearbox, or
yes.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
And of course, everything is rear mid-engine configuration, so it must really handle in terms of its polar moment of being balanced.
Yeah, it's really well balanced. It's the suspension is designed by Lotus, so and the car's all handmade.
Right.
So if you look at the thing,
mm-hmm.
if you pull the bonnet up, it's pretty extraordinary, the engineering that went into building this car. It's pretty cool, because I've had a lot of other handmade cars that are Italian or
Right.
whatever, and that are almost comical because of they look like artwork.
Right.
But this car looks very much like real bona fide beautiful engineering.
Right. Finished aircraft quality engineering, I might add.
The pedals in the car they're all billet aluminum, and just about everything from the mirrors, the steering wheel stock, everything is billet aluminum, and so it's milled out of this solid aluminum. It's pretty amazing stuff, you know. And you know, it's one thing that always attracted to me to these cars is the intricacy of the interior work. You know, we really haven't seen this kind of detail on any cars since the French cars of the 30s, where you had such incredible detail in the Delahaye's,
Right.
Delages, Tabalogos, all this stuff that was so amazing during the 30s.
Right.
And you see remnants of that in this kind of a car.
Right. Even the little throwback of the classic Bugatti type look inside of it. You can tell by the way the
absolutely
appointments are.
Yeah.
Very well done.
Yeah,
Verbal
it's
comments.
just such an unusual car that I think people are thrilled to see something other than another Lamborghini or a Ferrari or whatever.
Right.
And even though I love all those cars, it's fun to see something a little different.
Yeah.
And I always really appreciate when somebody puts their heart and soul into breathing life into a car company again, or you know, they have to have the gumption that it takes to actually build something from scratch.
Yeah.
Really hard to do. So
This Roadster definitely has the Barchetta look, the original Barchetta look that's famous for Ferrari. But Di Tomasino made a car, I think before this car was released, called the Panos, and it was a convertible. But compared to this car, it's so much more refined, so much brought through to fruition. Alan DeCadney did a road test in this car in a TV series that was called Victory by Design. And this car, he had some great things to say about it. So we appreciate being able to have you talk to us today and
Thanks.
talk about the car. From headlights and tailpipes, Las Vegas, Nevada, John Edward Jordan.